Good morning, citizens of the world. I'm just going to make this really brief video and I'm going to get a few things out of the way. It's unprofessional. It's not using microphones like it should. It's as you can see, I've had to reach to the camera to start it. We haven't got lighting sorted. We've done none of the things that I would want to do if I was going to do this right. This video isn't about doing things right. This video is about just doing things. And it's time. We need a solution, and this is a solution. So that's why I'm here. It's unscripted. It's going to have errors, and it's not about my fallibilities. It's not about my mistakes. It's about the fact that I want to be here. I want to start something. So that's what you're hopefully enjoying this now for. I'm hoping on the day today that we start this, it's the 25th of December. It might be a great day that family get a chance to not be at work, and maybe this video is worth sharing onto a friend. That'll be for you to decide, hopefully before the end of it. Hopefully now. Give it a chance. What I'm going to speak about is, as I say, a solution. So what is the solution? Well, it's not one that presents itself well. It's not one that anybody's looking for, or it's one that we're looking for, but it's not one that we're seeing because it's different. It's different to the way we're doing things, and it needs to be seen from a whole new point of view. And it all fits together when we look at things through a whole new point of view. And so let's start. As I say, this is unscripted. So thank you for your time. Thank you for being here now, and thank you for persevering through this really rocky start where you're like, man, why are people watching this? What's the point? The point is happiness. The point is none of us have happiness at the moment. We have fleeting moments of happiness, the moments we're allowed to have, and it's not the moments that we're getting because we're earning them. The moment where we're earning what we're seeking, which is to get into this wheel and to keep going around and around and around in it. What we want is the ability to have free time. It's the ability to be able to be with our friends and our family and share smiles, and in order to do that we need to feel like we're actualised beings. We need to feel like we're giving something back. We need to feel like we're part of something bigger. And we can do that. In this modern world we now have the communication, we have the technology, we have all the things we need for the building blocks, for the basis of something bigger and better than we currently have. And it doesn't come from the Industrial Revolution. That was great. That was at a time when we didn't have enough people in the world and machines helped us to get things done. But we've gotten past that point now. Now we have enough people in the world, we can actually do things by hand. Not everything. Hey, let's use the equipment and the technology where it benefits us. But let's look at things in a different light. Okay? So that means being valued citizens. And I want to be able to offer a job to everybody. That is, I don't see myself as an employer. I don't have an ego attached to this. I have children. I have a commitment to this world. What I want to do is to be able to bring forward a world that they're going to want to live in, and to offer them a pathway which is free from fear and the concerns that they don't need. We're all going to have fear, but let's let those fears be about developing as a person and being a better person in society. In a society we want to live in, and it contributes and gives something back. And we can do that now. I live in a very fortunate country. In Australia we have a large amount of land space, and we've had a really good year. Now not everybody's feeling that way at the moment, and so what I'm proposing is a solution that's going to carry out in Australia, but it's going to be a model that can be taken to most countries of the world. And some countries will have this model change up a little bit for it to work just as well there. But what I want to do is create a body here in Australia, a test, a prototype if you wish, and I want to make and test a range of systems that are going to work for everybody. And so there's going to be a little bit of refinement, there's going to be a little bit of litmus testing, but let's talk about what it's going to. And I think there'll be enough people that will want to get involved and make this happen, that the groundwork will be something that other people can look at and say, hey, let's give that a try. And so what we want to do, we want to support everybody. And so when I say I've got a job for everybody, that is a job for everybody. Everybody. Even the people who don't think they can have a job. That's the current paradigm. That's where we've got to work an 8-hour day, and that's where we've got to bring a certain skill set. The thing is, there's so much that can be done that everybody can contribute something, whether it's licking an envelope in the old world, whether it's just getting in contact with people, engaging with people and smiling at people. At a level of 7 billion people, there is so much that needs to be done, and I want to talk about a workforce that is so large in scale that every role can be filled. And so let's start with the new paradigm. Jobs don't have to be long and arduous. They can be if we want them to be. If we want to contribute more, by all means, let's do that. But if we work off the basis of why do we work, most of the money that we're currently earning gets caught up in a cycle, and we're losing it. We're losing it to all the small things, and often it's chasing a bill. Often it's ringing up and making a complaint. And if we actually look at the amount of time that we lose to ineffective systems, even with all the technology, we're losing our ability to be happy and be human, but we're losing our ability to have free time. And so in the workforce that I want to build to, everybody does the job that they want to do, and they work for as little or as much as they want to work for. Now that's on a really simple basis. Most people work to have security, to have the food that they need, but ideally a structure or a house to live in, and the possessions that are going to allow them to be happy in this world. Now believe it or not, there's enough wealth in the world, and there's enough wealth to be generated in one person's lifetime for them to have all those things easily. The cost of housing has come down. The cost of land is going up. So my proposition for Australia in particular is that we build from the outside of the country, where coastal land is always valuable, but we build towards the middle of the country, the desert area, the less than useful areas. And all we do is we reclaim land. It's been done before. Okay, I know for a fact in America that they took all the unemployed of the country at one point when their inner land was becoming valueless, but it was becoming a problem. They were having dust storms. And what they did is they got this entire workforce and they put them together and they created swales. They created these ways where the land could come back and could come back healthy. And so on that simple basis, if we were to take land that's of very little worth and turn it back into land that is so valuable, the basis of the land that we put our housing on can actually be very, very low cost. And if we put really high quality housing on that, such that we don't need to keep rebuilding it, that we don't need to keep knocking it down, but we actually create assets, that means every single person can build their own dream, and they can do it with money that we work from, and we just give it up front. Now how do we give it up front? Okay, well, support this video. Okay, I'm obviously attempting to be altruistic, right? I've got some ideas and I want to make it happen. But what I want to do is I want to support the creatives. I want to support everybody. Now believe it or not, I want the lion's share of the workers to be creating food. Okay, that means literally getting down, getting their hands into the ground and just being the most grounded people out there. And for a lot of people that's going to make them really happy. Again, we're not talking long hours, we're not talking arduous conditions. We are talking the best possible working conditions that we can create, so that the work component of our lives is actually something we look forward to. But where I say I want the creatives, I want everybody. In the past, we haven't seen the creatives as something that we can support. Creatives go out there and they risk all of their joy, and they attempt in a very stressed environment to try and make something greater. Well, right now we have a world filled with consumers, people who just want to watch videos, people who just want to play games, people who just need creatives to create. And so there's going to be a lot of people out there that are going to just want to build their dreams. So as a model all over the world, I want to build these beautiful movie sets, game sets. I want to have really good access to really good recording studios. We want to actually build something that allows the creatives at every step of the way to come in and make. And so we're not trying to take profit off people every step of the way. What we want to do is to create a society of people that want to give. And I believe that if everybody could give what they know that is in their hearts to give, if everybody's dreams for stories could be made, if everybody could communicate, and we were doing that from a happy, healthy perspective, the content of the output, the games that we output, not rush to a deadline to try and fulfill the best sales season, literally everything being made in accordance with humanity and a human vision, the quality of everything would go up. The complaints time, complaining about the things that aren't working, would come down. and the ability for everybody to live a happy, healthy lifestyle, that is living from their own house, eating good, healthy food, and having a support network that meets all of their human needs, so that that hierarchy of needs, if we wish, is met. And I believe in a new paradigm we can easily do that. Now, I'm not saying I don't want to reach out into my test model and try and get, you know, the companies of the world that might want solar cells made or these various things, every piece of tech used. I want to use it, and I want to use it well. Okay, and that might mean lots of science. Okay, I want to maybe build a valley that we put a lot of solar cells in, and we have a lot of orchids. And in there's going to be wind farms, and those wind farms will be part of a valley that moves air. The whole design being to keep the solar cells cool and everything, including the air quality, monitored. And if that's a zone that this food is growing in, the quality of the output of that food would be fantastic. Now that sounds like that's just come out of nowhere in my video. It has. But I've got a lot of ideas for how we can put things together, and I am not the smartest mind. And at the end of the day, when we put everything together and we find the systems that work the most effective, and we actually aren't trying to just build patents and have technology just for the individual, we will actually come up with a whole bunch of systems that work really well. Now, the best thing about my ideas is they fit in the current model. This new paradigm isn't about replacing the old paradigm. And if it is, it's about doing it gradually. So the largest part of what I'm going to try to be building is going to be the first-class accommodation. It's going to be really high-quality accommodation. There's going to be a lot of people trained or already have the skill set to provide first-class customer service every step of the way. And so, trading credits from country to country, we're going to have people who are going to be travelling the world, possibly for their visions. And they're going to be coming in and they're going to be staying at the highest quality level of accommodation everywhere. They're going to be eating the highest quality food that's all at a sustained level that they are going to know. It's going to be almost like a franchise where you go in and you know the quality of the food you're going to get. You know the quality of the drink you're going to get. And we're going to have this great interchange. But right now I want the countries to keep their money in their own countries. So right now, if you've seen my video and you think, hey, that's novel and I want to back him, you're not backing me. I'm a person, I'm fallible. We're backing a concept. It's going to be an organisation. It's not going to be about raising profit. And so if you wanted to give me money, I want most of your money to stay in your current country. And to that goal, I'm going to need a body set up. I'm going to get some kinesiologists in, I'm going to get all the right people in, get the right actuaries in, and we're going to make sure that this model is going to work from the get-go. To do that, I'm going to need a little bit of capital. But from the money that I have to start this, it's to make it better for everybody. And that means that really quickly I will be working with governments if my hope hits the scale and scope that I'm aiming for. And if we can hit that, that means that the money you want to give me, sure, give me a little bit, get me started. But keep your money ready to give in your own country for the same model kicking off there. And right now we're going to make that money as a pool for our governments to go forward. And I know that this is needed because in my country the government backed everybody this year. And because they backed all the little people, all the local businesses were able to keep going. Because the local businesses could keep going, kids could stay in school, clothing could be put on them, haircuts could be had. Okay, what we need to do is think globally, but we're going to act locally. And we're going to do this, and we're going to do this right. Now, what happens when brainstorming happens towards this new paradigm? Things are going to get better, and they're going to get better quickly. And the model that I'm proposing, which I haven't cut into here, this is just this first video to wet the taste buds and have something positive to talk about, okay? It is a solution. But it's just going to be scratching the surface. I've got less than 15 minutes. I say this because when I say this is unprofessional, as I say, I use the wrong camera. It hasn't got the right microphone. It hasn't got the right recording length, and I certainly haven't recorded this in 4K. This isn't about equipment. This is about catching the first rays of sunlight on Christmas Day